But I haven't heard from him in years.
As I said, there are some conditions. You can't sell the winery for at least 2 years, or the profit from the sale will automatically revert back to the estate.
Why would I want to sell it? I loved it here.
Took off pretty quickly, as I recall.
Yeah, well, I had my reasons. Does Thebes actually make a profit?
It's a small property compared to the more established wineries in the area, but it's in the black. When he first inherited this place, the vineyards were a mess, but over the years he's got some funding and fixed it up. His 2 top cabs have won some awards, and his Sauvignon always scores in the 90s. Getting back to those conditions, you're required to employ Eddie for another year. His parents worked here, and Lou promised to give him a home. He's a good guy. He lives in the old manager's house.
I remember that place. It was falling apart. Mainly a bunch of raccoons lived there.
Eddie put a new roof on it, kicked out those raccoons. He earns his way.
I still don't understand. What happened?
Heart attack. Lou used to throw a company picnic every year a few days before Halloween. Big barbecue, kind of reward after the crush, lots of contests. The employee who received the most points got $1,000. They had to do at least 2 of the mental contests and 2 of the physical ones. You know, brain teasers, wine trivia, tug of war.
Sounds fun. So you're saying he just collapsed right there?
He was in good shape for a guy who was looking at 70, but he shouldn't have gone up against the young guys in the barrel pole. I hear a few people try to talk him out of it, but you know how he was. Stubborn.
Poor Lou. I wish I had kept in touch. I just wanted...
Some independence, I know, and he let you have it, but he kept his eye on you from a distance. He wanted you to have this, but you can't open it until 8 months today, in front of me. I have to witness that the seal hasn't broken. If you break the seal before then, the winery will automatically revert back to the estate.
Why 8 months?
No idea. He got a little eccentric in those last few years.
If he didn't want me to open it, why give it to me? Why not just have you hold on to it till the 8 months are up?
Part of the instructions. Maybe he thought you lacked self-discipline. You're something of a wild child back then, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, well, I was only 19, so lacked a lot of things. Except boobs, which if I remember correctly was something Lou had no complaints about.
That falls under the category of none of my business.
Oh my god, Sam, you're still such a prude. Should I have said breast? Would that have been better?
No, it wouldn't. You just like teasing me. You always did. Here he is. Eddie, this is Joe. Joe, Edward Miller, the young man I was telling you about.
Hi, nice to meet you. Sorry for your loss.
Oh no, I'm sorry for your loss. Sam tells me you and Lou are really close.
He was like a father to me. So, what's Joe short for? Joanne? Joan?
You'll never guess it. No one does.
Jo Beth? Jocelyn?
I'm telling you, give up. You're not going to guess it.
I never give up. That's one of the things Lou taught me. Keep going until the wheels fall off of the car.
That sounds like him.
All right, if you don't have any further questions, I'll hit the road. If I know Carol, dinner's almost on the table and she's looking at the clock.
Look, wait a moment. Carol likes the Merlot, right? Give her my best.
Thanks, Eddie. Take care, Joe. Eddie knows what's going on. He'll give you the rundown.
Okay, thanks, Sam. So, did Lou ever talk about me?
No.
Figures. Any more 1989 cab in the cellar?
There's a few left.
Want to open one up?
You're the boss. There's a party of 25 coming in next Monday. They want lobster crepes and Sauvignon.
They give you a deposit? I'm not buying a shit ton of lobster without at least $500 down.
I put it on their card. Here's their information. It's an anniversary. Normally have the cook make baklava. It's kind of our signature dessert.
I remember when all we used to make was Ritz crackers and cheddar cheese. How's the fountain going? That's your final project, right?
Yeah, it's good. It'll get done.
I don't want to see you in the basement checking inventory, okay? I can do that. Trust me, Lou would back me up in this. School comes first.
I'm well aware of Lou's ideas on education. After I graduated high school, I wanted to work around the place, pruning vines and cleaning the machinery. I had no interest in college, but Lou let me get away with it for about 2 years and then told me if I didn't either go to Napa College or Sonoma State, I'd be out on my ass. So... Oh, So you used to work here when? Back in the...
Oh, back before you were probably even in diapers yet. Didn't know shit about wine, but Lou took me on anyway.
I hear he was a real boobs man.
I would like to think it was more than just the boobs. My legs, I'll have you know, weren't that either.
You still are, though they're not going to stay that way if you keep sitting all day.
I've got a few more years before the varicose veins set in, thank you. So, Sam tells me you were there at the picnic when Lou...
Everybody loved Lou, and everyone loved the end of the season bash. Lou mostly liked to get in there and compete. You know, the barrel pole was his big event. Entered it every year and kicked everyone's ass every year.
Until this year. This year you won?
Sadly, yeah. But it was close. I mean, he was a card-carrying member of the AARP, but he wouldn't give up. I'm glad he left the place to you.
You didn't want it?
No, I'm getting my degree in environmental landscaping, and yeah, I can do some of that here, but I want to start up my own business. I mean, Lou even left me money to do that. I'm still not sure if I should take it or not.
Take it. He liked to start people off, especially people who don't have much in terms of family money. Let him help you. That way, he can take all the credit for your success in heaven.
I could see him doing that, while drinking ouzo and playing cards at a picnic table. That's how I imagine him.
It's a nice picture.
Hey, Eddie.
Hi, Tyra.
Oh, Tyra. I was looking at some of the tanks and presses. They're looking kind of beat up, and the filtration system looks kind of old.
Well, I can look back and see what we spent and when we spent it, but Eddie's got a better sense of which machines are still working good and which we should think about replacing.
I don't care who your owner is. My wife weighs about 120 pounds and nobody shut her off.
Sorry to interrupt, but there's a customer here that wants to talk to you.
What can I help you with?
What kind of place you running here? Every year, me and my wife do the wine trail, and this is the first time we've ever been shut off. 2 glasses while I'm waiting for your crappy restaurant to open. I don't know how you guys expect to stay in business when you refuse to serve your customers.
Sir, I understand your frustration. We both want the same thing for you, to have a good time here at Thebes. Now, a lot of the wine in the valley actually has a higher alcohol content than people are used to. And the higher altitude can affect the way your body absorbs it. Right, Eddie?
Yeah, average glass is about 15%. After a few wineries, it can hit you all of a sudden.
How about we do this? Amber, have the restaurant open early and seat Mr.
Harris, Dave Harris.
Good. Have them seat Mr. Harris and his wife at table 7. Give them an appetizer on us.
Okay.
What do you and your wife prefer, Mr. Harris? White or red?
Most of the time we drink red.
Great. I have a few whites here that are good, but we've been experimenting with a new line of limited vintage reserve reds. We haven't finished designing the label yet, but we're using our premium grapes. How about we give you one in the house? Amber can have your waiter serve it with your meal after you've had a chance to enjoy the appetizer.
You don't have to give us a bottle in the house. I can pay for it.
Oh, it's the least we can do. Besides, at this stage in the process, we could really use the feedback. Maybe after you've tried it, you could let the waiter know what you think.
Sure, okay.
Now, I'm glad we could get that all squared away, but would you apologize to Amber? She was just doing her job.
Are you serious?
Yes, Amber here has a responsibility to protect your safety and the safety of others.
Okay. Fine. Sorry, Amber. I got a little angry. I guess I need some food in the old tank.
No problem, sir.
New line of limited edition vintage reds?
Trick I learned in Oregon.
It's a good trick. I wouldn't want to see him on the road. What if he wanted white?
Then I would have given him a bottle from our new vintage whites.
Any of that stuff true about the altitude?
Well, we are higher up on the wine trail, and altitude does affect absorption of alcohol.
And what if he figured it out? Or if his wife realized that they're basically drinking high-end grape juice?
He's too drunk to tell. Besides, it's free. You don't complain about free things, even non-alcoholic wine.
You're pretty slick, boss lady.
Some people find me a bit tart at first, but I have a smooth finish.
So I better get downstairs. They're not gonna like opening up early.
It's only 20 minutes. They can handle it. What?
I didn't say anything.
You sure? Because I thought I heard something.
Nope, didn't say a word.
Your brother called. He says he's going to be in San Francisco next week and he wants to come visit.
Some visit. He's coming to take a look at Thebes. Conrad can't resist a potential business deal.
Do you think you're going to let him in?
I bet he's thinking about it, but no. You know how big brothers are. They always see you as the little girl who cried when she dropped her ice cream cone.
You want to see me?
Oh, yeah. I was taking a look at the accounts payable. You're all set, Amber.
Okay.
And I keep noticing a Mr. Caldwell, a private investigator. What do we need a private investigator for?
When I first started here about 11 years ago, he was already on the books. Comes in sometime in February, gives a little report, and leaves with a check. Want me to call him up, tell him he's no longer needed?
It depends. A report on what?
Lou kept them locked in his desk, top drawer on the right.
And you never read any of them?
I didn't say that. He kept the key in the top drawer on the left.
So, what was the reports on?
Are you sure you want to know? It could be a Pandora's box for you.
I'm already not opening a goddamn letter with a seal, so yeah, I want to know.
He was investigating you.
Me? Why me?
At the time, I figured you were a long-lost daughter. I was kind of surprised you came back to the States.
I was not his long-lost daughter.
Yeah, I know. You were the love of his life.
What? Why would you say that?
I'm not saying that. He said that. After I asked him who you were. Bookkeepers don't like mysteries. I'm not paying a guy $3,000 a year for some boring report on a girl without knowing why. And by the way, 5 different jobs in 10 years doesn't look good on the old resume.
But he said I was the love of his life.
Yeah, you were the one that got away. Why did you get away? I mean, that restless streak?
I have my reasons. So, that's how Sam found me?
I guess so. So you want me to fire Caldwell?
Well, we can't fire him this year. He already did the work. But I'll let you know about next year.
Oh, Amber, there's a few over there. You missed a few over there, too.
Idiot.
Don't you know how to sweep? It's not that hard. Didn't your brother ever teach you?
You better run.
Are those two...
Beats me. That kid's grown into one hunk of a man.
Yeah,
Must have his pick of women at the college.
probably. You said his last name was Miller, right? What is that? Greek? Italian? He's so dark.
He's definitely got some Greek or Italian in his blood. That's probably why Lou took such a shine to him. His mom's liked him having a male figure in his life.
His mom's?
Yeah, Lena worked in the kitchen and Mel did the marketing. Neither one of them could have kids, so they adopted. They were working at some restaurant in Connecticut. When they scored this, they thought it was a dream come true. And then, 3 years later, they get hit on the way home from work by some drunk tourists on the wine trail. God has a strange sense of humor.
And they didn't want him to go live with someone in the family?
Well, they weren't all that close to their families, and Eddie wasn't too keen on starting over at some school in the East and leaving his friends.
Poor Eddie. You know, in some ways he reminds me so much of Lou. Not just his looks, but the way he carries himself. Very confident, you know? But in other ways he's so different. He really listens when you talk. I mean, most men just pretend. Lou was a great guy, but he never thought he had anything to learn from anyone. Or at least not from me. But I didn't mind at the time because I was young and wanted to soak up everything he had to say, but Eddie, he's inquisitive, really looks deep into things, you know?
Well, I can't say I've noticed him looking too deep into anything, but maybe that's what comes from having two moms. Mel was really good at marketing and getting our wines into the right hands, but Lena was an artist. She didn't waste time making dishes nobody wanted to eat, like at some of the fancier wineries. She just made good food that tasted great. Kind of thin skin, though. If somebody would complain, she'd sneak off into the back and cry.
I see both sides in Eddie, the manager and the artist. That fountain he's building, it's beautiful.
You're talking a lot about Eddie. Best not to get any ideas in that direction.
I don't have any ideas, I'm too old for him.
Yeah, you got that right. But still, you're always looking around like you're waiting for something. And it's not the first time I've seen it. A lot of girls come around here looking for Eddie. Girls more his age, with their flat stomachs and muscular legs and
I get
tight.
it. Jeez. I've been around the block a few times. Eddie sees me as the new boss, that's it.
Look, I'm not saying you don't look good, because you know you do, but mark my words. Autumn, spring matches might work in the beginning, but eventually autumn turns to winter, and spring turns to summer, and somebody starts wanting fruit that ain't in season.
I'd like to think I'm more of an Indian summer.
What happens when you're 40 and he's 20? What happens if he starts wanting kids? How are you going to manage that?
No one's talking marriage and kids. I just said he's a nice guy.
Then get that look out of your eye. He's too young to settle down. He needs to go out and explore the world. You had your chance.
How do you know what kind of look I have in my eye? Aren't you, like, legally blind? I mean, even with those glasses on, you can barely see 10 feet in front of your face.
I can see what's right under my nose, and what I see is a midlife crisis waiting to happen. You want to go at it with a young pup, be my guest. But Eddie's family around here, and you don't mess around with family.
Oh, hello.
Hello. I come bearing champagne to celebrate your graduation. Figured I'd come by before you started partying. That's a serious knife.
Oh, my mother was a chef. She got herself a set once she graduated culinary school. Got her initials put on them too, probably so no one would steal them.
Do you ever talk to her side of the family?
Not much. They kind of disowned her once they found out she was gay. It's one of the reasons we moved out to California. California's a bit more tolerant when it comes to two lesbians raising a kid. Oh, champagne. It will go great with the bread and cheese.
Oh, you don't have to have it with me. It's a gift. Save it for someone special.
I'd say you're special enough.
I love what you've done with the place. The outside looks amazing.
Yeah, it's been fun to experiment with. I'm not exactly on my own yet, but it felt good to get out of the residence. Cheers.
Cheers. You know, this is going to sound ridiculous, but I used to come out here and write poetry. Just me and the raccoons.
I know.
What do you mean you know?
Well, I found a few of your pieces. I didn't know who wrote them until you showed up. Man, were you crazy about Lou? He waits for me, knowing I will come, dragging my youth behind me like a dead animal I want to bury.
I cannot believe you read that. I was young and hormonal.
You're fine. Poets write about love all the time. You're in good company.
Is this you and Lou with your mom?
Yeah, that was, well, I can't call it a wedding, but, they wanted to pledge their lives to each other. Have a ceremony. Lou let them have that here. Lena even changed our last names to Miller. She wanted us to be a family, even if the world didn't. And she wasn't too keen on me having her parents' last name.
You all look so happy. It must have been really tough losing both your parents at the same time, especially as a teenager. I'm really sorry.
Yeah. I mean, for a while I was mad at the world, mad at God. I got into a lot of fights, almost didn't graduate high school. Lou gave me a lot of work to do around the place, lots of physical work. Helped me work that anger out. You signed the bottom of your poems with a J. Let's see. Jobina.
Jobina? No.
Josie. Jonica.
No and no. I'm telling you, you're not gonna guess it.
What could I get if I do guess it?
Well, what do you want?
A kiss would work for me.
Guess Jocasta.
Jocasta.
Oh, can I take your jacket?
Thank you.
Is it still raining?
Starting to slow down.
I'll take rain over drought any day.
Looks in contact. You curious?
God, yes. Do you know what's in it?
Nope.
Can I have you open it first? I mean, just in case there's something bad in it?
The instructions are for you to read it, not me. Plus, you might not want me to know what's inside. I can stay here and keep you company while you read it, though.
That would be great. I don't know why I'm so nervous.
I always have some extra paperwork I can catch up on.
Did Lou ever tell you why I left?
He told me he lost you because of one thing. Superstition.
Superstition? I mean, I guess that's one way to put it. I was pregnant. Lou wanted me to have an abortion.
Wow, that doesn't sound like him. I wouldn't describe him as a religious man, but he was Greek Orthodox. They're not too big on abortions.
It said in his letter that he talked to some psychic Yana. Have you ever heard of her?
No, I don't get into psychics. It doesn't help to worry about the future, and it's best to leave the dead alone. It's hard enough dealing with the living.
She told him that there was a curse on his family.
A curse? Who believes in curses anymore? I'm surprised he let her get under his skin.
Yeah, apparently she said that if he had kids, it would ruin him and Thebes.
One country attracts all kinds.
I thought he didn't want to have a baby with me. That I wasn't, like, good enough or something. Why wouldn't he talk to me?
Maybe he was ashamed.
Ashamed that he was talking to a psychic?
Women are more comfortable with that kind of thing, especially when it comes to asking about advice about relationships.
That's true. Lou would talk all day and all night about wine, but about us? I don't remember him even saying he loved me.
So you ran away because...
I couldn't do it. Something just wouldn't let me walk into the clinic. So I left Lou a note telling him that I went through with it and went back to New York to live with my parents. If he would have called, I would have told him the truth, but he never did. It was like out of sight and out of mind.
So what happened to the child? Did your parents raise it?
Closed adoption. I didn't want to know anything. Did Lou ever find out about the baby? I know he had a private investigator tracking me.
No, he didn't hire Caldwell until about 5 years after you left. But I guess it wasn't out of sight, out of mind after all.
He was a strange man.
So I hear you and Eddie are...
Sam, please don't lecture me. I get enough of that from Tyrod. I can just... When I'm with him, it feels right. I mean, I know that sounds silly because we just met and he's half my age, but when I'm with him, I feel like I'm home.
Who would have wanted you to be happy, I'm sure about that.
I'm so happy I'm scared. I mean, life can't be this good, right? I keep expecting God to throw some kind of curveball at me.
Maybe sometimes things just turn out for the best.
I hope.
Well, you certainly lucked out, Joe. I can't believe all this is yours.
Neither can I.
Say, how much of a mortgage are you holding?
Why do you want to know?
Don't get touchy. I'm just making conversation.
Normally when people make conversation, they don't ask about your mortgage.
All right, look, Joe. This place could be a gold mine. Great location. Structures, they seem to be in decent shape. But you could do a lot more with brand recognition. You know, I'm sure most people outside of California don't even know that Thebes exists.
I'm working on all that, Con. We haven't had a full-time marketing person in a few years. I have a list of things I want to get done, and that's one of them.
Well, you've got a lot on your plate. You know your stuff when it comes to wine, but when it comes to managing a business... Okay. Look, all I'm saying is, if you need the help, don't be afraid to ask for it. I've owned 2 companies in the past 20 years, both of them profitable. Hell, with your experience with wine and my experience with managing a business, I'm sure I could turn this place into shape within a year.
If anyone's going to turn this place into shape, it's going to be me.
Well, running a business is tough. There's lots of pressure. The distributors around here, they can take one look at you and up their rates. Same thing with suppliers too. People don't play nice. They see a new kid on the block and they take advantage. That is something I could handle for you.
But wouldn't you be the new kid on the block if you handled it?
Well, I might be new here, but, you know, I'm not new to business. Besides, you know, you don't exactly have a great track record for sticking to things. All right. What about when this place starts to get old for you? When you get an offer at some cool winery out in Spain, then what? You like new experiences, Joe. And, you know, running the same business year in and year out, it gets boring really fast.
You know, it's a low blow bringing up my track record, Con. People grow up. I'm trying to take control over my life, make some changes, and I can't do that with my big brother holding my hand.
All right, suit yourself. But if you change your mind, do give me a call. You know, you're a smart girl. I just don't want to see you screw this up.
I'm a smart woman, and I won't screw this up. That one sounded close. I don't remember it raining this much in July. Good for the grapes as long as we don't get too much of it.
Stop changing the subject. You still haven't answered my question.
That's because your question is crazy.
What's so crazy? People get married all of the time.
What's crazy is that you're only 24. I thought you wanted to get out of Napa and design gardens and urban spaces.
And why can't I do that while married to you? We'll hire a vineyard manager, and when you're bored of talking about wine, I'll take you on one of my business trips.
Well, what about kids? I mean, I'm not even sure I want to have any, but if I do, who's to say when it'll happen? By the time a woman hits her 40s, the chance of having a baby with genetic problems goes way up.
So we'll do in vitro, or adopt. I mean, I was adopted, and look how good I turned out.
You are too young to be making this kind of decision. Why don't we just be together for a while, and then that way, once my ass starts to spread like cream cheese on a bagel, you can find someone different.
Now that's the thing a guy likes to hear when he's proposing marriage. Listen, I'm tired of being told I'm too young to know what I want. I'm a man, Joe. We're not waiting around until one of us finds someone better. The first time I saw you, I wanted to wrap you in my arms and never let go. I don't care if that sounds paternalistic. I've been with plenty of other women, but none of them have made me feel the way that you make me feel. I want to live my life with you forever. I want you to experience everything with me forever. I want you to be a part of me and me to be a part of you. So, you can commit to me forever, or I'll take the money Lou left me and I'll go on my way. But I'm not waiting around, waiting for someone to convince you to break up with me for my own good. It's marriage or nothing, Joe.
You would do that? Marriage or nothing?
My parents couldn't get married, not officially, but they exchanged rings anyway. This is the one that Mel wore. She told me when I found someone dumb enough to marry me that I should give it to them. Jocasta Durand, will you marry me?
Jesus Christ. Screw it. Yes, Edward Miller, I'd be honored.
What's up?
That woman over there says she wants to see the owner, but Joe's out buying a dress for her wedding. She owns that the shop in town, the Oracle, the one with all the crystals and stuff. She did Reiki on my friend Helen. She had this crazy jealous boyfriend, and even after that, after they broke up, she could see all this negative energy around her. Anyway, so Yana, I'm pretty sure that's what her name is, said that I should...
Okay, I'll take care of it. Hi, Amber said you wanted to speak with Joe, but she's not here right now.
Sit down. This will take a few minutes.
Are you looking to book an event? Hopefully we'll get you one on the patio. It's been a rainy July so far.
That's because Mother Nature reflects human nature. When the world is corrupt, we have more rain, more fire, more earthquakes.
Yeah, I heard a lot about global warming in high school. We actually plan on getting solar panels. It's in our 10-year plan. So, how can I help you?
I used to know your father,
My father?
the former owner of Thebes.
Oh, you mean Lou. He's not my father. People say we do look alike.
Yes, you do. When I first met Lou, I was just a young girl doing a few sessions here or there. He set me up in a corner of the tasting room so I could give tarot readings. At first, I knew he was humoring me, letting me make a few bucks. But one day, when it was kind of slow, he asked me to give him a reading.
Oh yeah? How'd it go?
Not very good. He told me to leave and never come back. Some people, they only tell you what you want to hear. But not me. I tell it how it is. This is the first time I've been here in over 25 years. The place looks pretty good.
Starting to get the feeling you're not here to book an event.
Normally, I would not offer my services to someone who did not ask of them. But I feel I owe it to Lou to give you some advice before it's too late.
Too late?
You're in love.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's kind of obvious.
That's too bad.
What?
The new owner. She's out buying a wedding dress. You can't marry her. I know that's not what you want to hear, but if you marry her, it will ruin your life. It will ruin her life, and it will hurt everyone in the valley.
Is this some kind of game?
It's no game. What's rotten in Thebes will spread throughout the entire valley. First rain, then fire, then famine.
Ever since 9/11, everyone's got these conspiracy theories. So what, it's rained? I mean, Lou always said, the bigger the rain, the bigger the crush.
You're young. Naturally, you don't want to listen. But there is a curse on your father's genetic line. I believe we can get rid of it. But only if you don't marry Jocasta. If you do, there is nothing more I can do to help you.
So how much is this gonna cost to get rid of this curse?
You think I am a fake. But I will overlook that because you are Lou's son and you are blinded by love.
I am not Lou's son. But you probably did your homework, so you know that already. Like any adopted child, I'd give anything to know who my father is, but that's not how it works. I've got the balls trying to use that to scam me. Nothing's going to hurt Joe or Thebes. I wouldn't let it. So take your crystal ball and get the hell out of here.
Like father, like son.
Amber. Listen, don't go around telling customers personal information like Joe going out and buying a wedding dress. That lady over there, she was a real nut job.
I didn't tell. I don't get it. Helen swears by her. She says she's the best psychic in town.
Yeah, well, she just told me if I marry Joe, I'll basically end the world. We're talking earthquakes, fires, full-scale annihilation.
Oh my god. So you're gonna be the reason that the world explodes. Okay, alright. You are going, right before the apocalypse, you and Joe are just gonna be swept up in this light and scooped into heaven, right? I knew I should have dated you when I had the chance.
Well, you missed your chance. Now you're gonna have to burn with all the other sinners. It's gonna be one big fire pit down here unless I don't marry Joe, and all of that carnage could be averted, but...
Don't change your plans according to me. I'm sure you guys are happy.
Amber, would you mind going down to the cellar and getting more chards? We're running low.
Sure, no problem.
You guys seemed comfortable.
Yeah, we were just...
I'm out buying my wedding dress, and you're here flirting with the girl in the tasting room. Newsflash, I was that girl. And what did I do? I had an affair with Lou. But at least he wasn't engaged to be married.
We weren't flirting, we were just joking around.
You were talking about not marrying me. If that's your idea of joking, I have news for you, you're not that funny.
Whoa, Joe, come on. This crazy lady came in and said...
I don't care what some crazy lady said. I care about what you said. if you're having second thoughts, if you don't want to get married, you want someone closer to your age, just tell me. I'm a grown woman, I can handle it.
Jesus Christ, is this the way it's gonna be every time you see me talking to somebody else?
You could have had your chance. Now you're gonna have to fry unless I don't marry Joe.
We were joking around, and if you hadn't barged in...
Barged in? I know I haven't been here as long as you and Amber, but I have news for you. Lou left Thebes to me. I am the queen of this castle. I don't barge in, I own this joint.
Okay, bad choice of words. But if you waited just a little bit longer, you would have heard me say the whole thing, which is this. If I don't marry Joe, but that ain't gonna happen. Because nothing's going to stop me from marrying you. Not Amber, not whoever that was, and not anybody else. The only person that could stop me from marrying you is you, Joe. You want to sabotage this marriage? Fine, but don't go blaming it on me talking to another woman.
I don't want to sabotage this, Eddie, but you know what people are going to say. That I'm some kind of... or that you're just marrying me for the winery. And I can handle that. But as long as it's not true.
I get it. People can be assholes. All I can say is, I'm not looking around. There's always going to be reasons to be jealous, but we have to trust each other.
I know. It's just a lot easier to trust when you're in your 20s than when you're in your 40s, but I'll try. I just got back from the meeting at Behringer's. It's not looking good. Everyone's talking about the low harvest, and Gregor hit almost half our crop. Blue dies, I get here, and everything else goes to hell. People must think I'm the kiss of death or something.
Nobody thinks you're the kiss of death. We've had a bad year, that's all.
Maybe this is a sign.
We are not canceling the wedding, Joe. I'll stay on as manager this year, and I'll start my business afterwards. But that means we're getting married next month, and we're calling your parents tonight.
But now's not the time for a wedding. We should be saving for a rainy day. Pun intended.
Now is the best time to have a wedding. It would cheer everyone up. We'll use the money Lou left me.
I don't want that. Lou wouldn't want that.
I don't care what Lou wants. He's not here. I am. And that means we're going to use the money that Lou left me to get married. You have to trust me on this. I even asked Sam to perform the ceremony.
He's a justice of the peace?
Yes, he said he'd be honored, happy to do it. Everything is going to be fine.
Okay.
Well, nice job on the rehearsal dinner.
Thanks. Everyone seemed to have a good time.
Say, why didn't you have it here at Thebes?
Well, we live right upstairs, and a lot of the employees are guests. We just wanted to have it somewhere different.
We could have decorated the place. And it would have saved you some real money, especially after a year that you've had.
The year hasn't been that bad. Thank God for Taurus.
Well, look, Joe, you're getting married tomorrow. And unless you signed a prenup, which I doubt, half of everything you own after today is going to be half of his. And, I'm not trying to talk you out of marrying the guy.
That's decent of you.
But the offer still stands. I could put some money into this place. We could upgrade the equipment, hire a marketing person. Come on, renovate. I'm sure we could put Thebes on the map. And, I'm not trying to go all big brother on you, but you need a partner. You need someone who's practical, someone with business sense.
I have a partner. I'm marrying Eddie tomorrow.
And I'm sure he's a smart guy for his age, but, you said he wants to be an environmental engineer? Well, he'll have his work cut out for him. Starting a new business. He'll probably have to travel.
It's environmental landscaping. Is everything all right in here? You left your sweater in the car.
Thanks. Yeah, Conrad was just saying...
I heard what he was saying. Listen, I've been working here since I was 15. I know how to run every piece of machinery on this place. If Joe needs a man, she's got one. But she does fine on her own. You want to run a winery? Go buy one. Leave ours alone.
Eddie.
Hey. I was just saying I have some experience turning businesses around. But you don't want my help, which is fine.
Joe's been running with Tyra on the books. We know what we're doing, Conrad, when it comes to having a wedding and running Thebes.
All right. Okay, well, hey. Welcome to the family. And it's not really you I'm worried about. It's more so my sister. She's got a real wild streak. I'll keep an eye on that one.
Don't worry. I've got both eyes on her, and I'm liking what I see.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna leave you two alone.
So, I've got a question.
I thought you might.
Why did you leave? Did Lou cheat on you or something?
No, nothing like that. It was a long time. I don't really want to talk about it.
He didn't want you to... Oh. He wasn't into S&M, was he? A dominatrix type of thing?
Lou? No. Just, it was a long time ago. It doesn't matter now. But think about it this way. If I would have stuck around, eventually Lou and I either would have gotten married or been sick of each other. But either way, I wouldn't be here with you on the night before our wedding. So everything worked out for the best.
Fine. No more questions. Well, how about going upstairs? It would be the last time before we tied the knot.
I think you should go back to your place tonight. One night apart might make me feel about as close to a virgin as I'm gonna get.
Fine, I'll meet you at the restaurant, but I do have to warn you, I look pretty hot in a tux. You might want to rip off my clothes as soon as the service is over.
Oh, I'll be ripping off your clothes. But you're paying for this wedding. Which means it seems only fair to let you have a few drinks before I take you up to the room and devour you.
Are you sure you don't want to go upstairs? I'm up for it.
I can see that. But no. Besides, it's bad luck to see the bride before the wedding.
Do you, Jocasta Duran, take this man, Edward Miller, to be your lawfully wedded husband, to have and to hold until death do you part?
I do.
And do you, Edward Miller, take this woman, Jocasta Duran, to be your lawfully wedded wife, to have and to hold until death do you part?
I do.
And now, I pronounce you man and wife. You may kiss the bride!
They never learn.
But tell me again why we should. I mean, this year's been good so far. No gray rock.
We could make some of those repairs you've been talking about. We've been wanting to fix up the wine press for years.
But this year we'd finally be in the black. Get the feeling there's something you're not telling me.
We could fix up the tasting room. I mean, the tourists saved us.
You're usually the one that doesn't like borrowing from the bank.
Did I tell you? A reporter from Wine Enthusiast came by a few weeks ago to interview me.
Really? Why?
Hey, I am a female sommelier turned entrepreneur with a prize-winning cab and a couple high-performing shards struggling to make a business work despite overwhelming odds. Why wouldn't they want to interview me?
Is that what Amber told them?
Yeah, those marketing classes are really paying off.
So, how large is the article gonna be?
Probably just a blurb. But they did send a photographer,
And why didn't you tell me this?
just in case they didn't run it. But if they do, it should bring in more tourists
Which is why you want to fix up the wine tasting room.
and maybe give Amber a raise. She did hang in there all those years when times were tough.
Fine, fine. You want the credit line? We'll get the credit line.
You are incredibly sexy to me right now.
Can't say I don't know what turns my woman on.
Joe, it's been a long time. So, how are your children?
Oh, good. You know, the boys keep me busy and the girls drive me crazy.
Twin boys. I don't know how you doing. I was surprised to get your call, Joe. What can I do for you?
I have someone I want you to track down.
Who's the target?
My first child. About 31 years ago, I gave a baby up for adoption. It was Lou's. I was curious if you could tell me what happened to him or her.
Open or closed?
Closed. I know that makes it difficult. I mean, I don't even know the name of the agency, but it was in New York.
Before I take on an assignment, I like to make sure the client knows what she's getting into. Information can hurt or it can help you, but one thing for sure, it's gonna change you. You gotta think about the best case scenarios or the worst case, because once you've read this report, there's no going back. You sure you wanna do this? Closed adoptions aren't closed for a reason.
Every time I got pregnant with one of the kids, all I could think was, somewhere out there's another child of mine. I mean, I shouldn't say child. My son or daughter's old enough to be a parent by now, but Is there a need I want to help out? Financially, I mean. Thebes has had some lean years thanks to this crazy streak of rain, but we have a line of credit. I want to help out my child as much as I can. Anonymously, of course. I don't know if you remember from all those reports you did on me, but before I met Eddie, when times got tough, I ran away. Tough job, difficult relationship. I left before I broke a sweat. But that's the old me. Now all I want is to make sure my firstborn is financially stable, just like my other kids will be.
Okay, if you're sure. Might take a while, depends on what you did to get those records unsealed, but try to keep the cost down as much as possible.
Okay, I trust you.
By the way, Joe, I wouldn't describe you as a runner. Describe you more of a searcher. Glad you found what you were looking for.
Hey guys, look what I've got. The latest cover of Wine Enthusiast, and guess who's on the cover, bitches?
Really already?
Let me see.
Tyra, get in here. You gotta see this cover.
They did a huge story.
Some of us are trying to get some work done.
We're in the money. We're in the money. We're in a famous magazine.
It's not bad. I actually sound like I know what I'm talking about.
You want Amber? Let's crack this open. Get us some glasses.
Already on it.
It's 10 in the morning.
You gotta celebrate the wins, Tyra. That's what my dad always says. We got into 4 pages. That's like unheard of.
Just half a glass. I'm not much of a drinker.
Good, more for us.
This is amazing. Who knows? Maybe our luck is finally starting to turn around.
Absolutely. Our ship is finally coming in, baby.
You know, you should have started that business of yours. Probably wouldn't need a line of credit if you did.
Kept waiting for a good crush. And after 7 years, it finally happened. Not too wet, not too dry.
Oh, remember that lady, the one that owned the Oracle?
Yeah, I used to see her at the chamber meetings until she closed up shop.
She left a message for you. Said she has something important to tell you.
Yeah, well, the last time I talked to her, she said if I married Joe, I'd spread a curse upon the valley.
Record rainfall, businesses shutting down, grapes rotting in the field. Sounds like a curse.
Or global warming. Either way, this year's been good so far. No fucking fungus.
Yeah, but you never know. The year's not over yet. Could be something more is coming down the pike.
She leave you an address?
She said she'll come to you at the old manager's house.
Why there? Why not the residence?
Maybe she knows it's your man cave. Maybe a better place to get in touch with the spirits. Or maybe it's the only place that's not haunted or something.
I hate that witch, but we've had the good year, and with the article in the paper, we're on a roll. What the hell? Couldn't hurt. Tell her to come by tomorrow at 3.
You tell her. She left her number. I got things to do.
Hello, Joe. Sorry to give you more of a heads up, but I was in the area. Thought I killed 2 birds in one stone. You want to wait for Eddie?
Oh, no, Eddie's down at the old manager's house. I guess there's a leak in the pipe or something. But this is my business, not his.
So, I found the baby. It was a boy.
A boy? Oh, what does he do? Did he go to college? Is he married? Who adopted him? Are they nice? Is he doing okay money-wise?
I'm still looking into that. I made some headway on the person who adopted him. The names was blacked out, but I was able to see his signature. It looked like a woman's, you know? A lot of those feminine type swirls. First name was hard to make out. It starts with a P. It could have been Paula, Petra, Portia. Last name was a little easier. Pretty sure it's Brooks.
First name P, last name Brooks. I feel like that should ring a bell, but you said a woman adopted my baby? Don't they normally want there to be 2 parents?
Maybe she had a lot of money. Could have pulled some strings, or maybe she was staying with somebody. Sorry I couldn't get you anything more.
And we don't even know his name, or if he's okay?
I'll keep checking, but when it comes to close adoptions, people are pretty by the book.
Okay, well, how much do I owe you?
Oh, don't worry about that yet. Got a couple more calls I can make. Give me a few more days.
Oh, Tyra, I'm gonna head down to the old house. I have to ask Eddie something. Do you think you could call in the babysitters on the list? Have them pick the girls up from daycare? The boys will be home from school in an hour and a half. I should be back by then.
Sure. Anybody heard of a job description around here? Because last I checked, I was a bookkeeper.
There's just something nagging at me.
I'm not deaf. You could knock on the door like most people.
Stop complaining. I'm not like most people.
Can I get you some water?
Got bourbon?
Yeah, sure.
Good. Pour me a shot. And pour yourself one too. You're gonna need it.
Got something to tell me?
I will be leaving soon. I am here to tell you that the chickens have come home to roost.
What?
The shit is gonna hit the fan.
What shit is gonna hit what fan?
Now, normally, I'm not one to say I told you so. Especially in my line of business, since I have an advantage. But I told you so. Your wife knows about the curse. It won't be long before she puts it all together.
What did I do to get cursed anyway?
To be honest, I'm not even sure what caused it. I got a sense of it when I gave Lou the reading. The information's a bit fuzzy now, but what I do know is that you played your part.
What do you mean?
The barrel pull. You didn't have to do it.
That's all it takes to get cursed? A barrel pull?
That's what killed Lou.
He told me to do it. Practically ordered me to.
Lou is a prideful man. You knew that. You didn't have to push so hard. Or should I say pull so hard? Either way, you could have let him win.
The price was $1,000. I was a broke college student.
You didn't do it for the money. You wanted to replace him as the most powerful man in Thebes. And you succeeded.
So you're saying I killed Lou? Jesus Christ.
I'm saying both you and your father are complicit in your fate.
Are we talking about my father or Lou? Because you keep switching back and forth.
Who are you?
All this drama. I'm getting too old for this.
Joe, this is Yana. She used to own a psychic shop in town. Psychic readings and stuff like that. She says there's a curse on us.
You're the psychic who talked to Lou? Is that what you do? Tell everyone they're cursed?
Do you mind? A curse is rare, but in this case it covers both father and son.
I keep telling her I'm not Lou's son, but...
Lou is your father! Don't shoot the messenger.
That's not possible. I was born in Connecticut. I didn't come here until I was a teenager.
Lou had a relationship with your biological mother. Despite my warnings, he got the girl pregnant. All he had to do was use a condom, but no, they never like to wrap it up. So a 19-year-old girl decided his fate.
What's the curse anyway?
If Lou had a child, it would grow up and kill him. I know I'm being blunt, but there is no other way for me to say it.
This is ridiculous. No one killed Lou. He died of a heart attack.
Actually, no. The day of the barrel pull, I taunted him all day. I practically forced him into doing it. It's like I pushed him off a cliff.
No, he pushed himself. He wanted to be king of the castle a little while longer.
I'll own up to my part in Lou's death. But what does this have to do with Joe? Why do you keep saying we can't be together?
Are you crazy? Eddie, just don't listen to her, okay? We've heard enough. Just let it go. I don't know what the hell problem you have with marriage, but get out of mine.
I'm leaving. So will you. The fires are coming. The fields will turn black and the sky will turn red. Maybe we are fooling ourselves when we think knowledge can change everything. They say history repeats itself, but me, I say your history is written in pencil. You have some time to go back and erase. But wait too long, and the pencil turns to pen, and you cannot escape it. You two waited too long.
Eddie, what was your mother's name?
It's Lena Miller. You know that.
No, I mean before she changed it.
What?
Just say it. Your mother's name.
Okay, it was Paulina.
Jesus.
I don't get it. What's this got to do with...
Lou got me pregnant. That's why I left. I went back home to New York and had the baby. I wanted to close adoption because I wasn't sure I'd be able to let go. I never knew the name of the baby or who adopted it until today.
This is a coincidence, a 1 in a million shot.
No, I hired Caldwell. I had to find out what happened with my baby. I thought maybe with the new credit line, if he needed anything.
What did he say?
He didn't get any information on the baby, but he found something in the adoptive mother. Her first name starts with P, and the last name is the kicker.
What's the last name?
The last name looked like Brooks.
What are you saying?
I'm saying I'm your mother, you're my son.
No, God damn it, no, that is not true. How could Caldwell even know this anyway? I never liked the guy. I mean, it was a closed adoption. The records were sealed.
We've had sex, Eddie.
I know.
And kids, we had 4 kids.
I get it, Joe.
Christ. What kind of bad karma do we have going on here? I mean, I should have done the math or seen the resemblance. You have the same air of confidence, you smile. No wonder we fell in love. Our DNA was calling to each other. But how could anyone know? How could anyone know that God could be so brutal? I mean, your parents could have worked anywhere. Why send them to Thebes?
It's that curse.
Twisted, terrible curse. What are our children in this? Just collateral damage? I mean, what are we going to tell them? The children of incest? They'll be outcasts or freaks.
So we'll move. We'll start over. The kids will never know.
And everywhere we go, there'll be what? Fires, famine, natural disasters? The universe has it in for us, Eddie. As long as we're together.
We'll get a divorce.
A divorce? A divorce won't satisfy the almighty curse. Lots of people get divorced.
So, I'll move. I'll go to a different country. The curse is with me anyway. You can take care of the kids.
Don't be blind, Eddie. Information never dies thanks to the internet. Eventually, someone is going to find out, and when they do, they'll take away the kids. No one will believe I didn't know. Jerry Springer will interview me from a prison cell.
What do you want to do?
I don't know. God, we're fucked. God knows I've tried. 4 kids, all natural births. Nursed every one of them till my boobs looked like flat tires. I volunteered for the PTO, got rid of gluten, monitored their sugar intake. No type 2 diabetes for my kids. I leaned in, tried to find that magical balance between living for myself and living for my family. All for what?
I love you, Joe.
As what? Your mother? Your wife? The universe took our love and sharpened it over the past 7 years into a ship and went in for the kill. Our love is dying out into a pool of irony. You know, I used to think that God was a woman, but that can't be true.
No!
Get away from me! Time to open your eyes, Eddie. We're all just puppets dancing in the darkness. We think we have free will, that we're in control, but we're not. Even our deaths are scripted. Quick or slow, peaceful or painful, it's all out of our hands. But not this time. This time I'm writing the final scene.
Will either one of you answer your... Holy sweet Jesus! Eddie, what happened? How did you... Is she... We gotta get out of here. They're saying everybody's gonna evacuate. Fires everywhere. My niece took the kids to Sacramento, and that's where we're going to. After we get you to a hospital.
Rain. Fire. Famine.
We gotta go.
Not without Joe.
Joe's gone, honey. We gotta get out while we still can. Can't you smell it? The world is on fire.
Leave me here. The world would be better off.
You got kids, Eddie. They wouldn't be better off. I know this is hard, but you've got to get up. This is not the time for grieving. We'll do plenty of that later. Right now, we gotta move. Are you sure you want to do this, Eddie?
It's the only way to save the children. They were born into a cursed family.
Well, Aaron loves children. And it'll be great for the cousins to get to know each other. Thieves will be here for you when you're ready to come home.
Thebes is nothing but a graveyard. All I care about is the kids. If I stay, people will gossip. If I leave, they'll have a chance to remove the stain that I've put upon them.
Hey, it wasn't your fault. This was just one of those unforeseen turns of fate.
I was warned.
There's no reason to leave, Eddie. Everybody's going to be concentrating on rebuilding. Nobody will have time for gossip.
Rain, fire, then famine. I have to leave before it's too late. Conrad, the winery is yours on one condition.
Well, go ahead.
The children are taken care of. That includes college. We'll set up a trust with Joe's life insurance.
Well, of course. And, I'll see to it that Joe's suicide will be deemed an accidental death. She died in a fire.
No! I mean, I appreciate it. I know you're thinking of me and the kids, but no. Joe wouldn't want that. She wanted to write her own end. Joe's suicide was a protest. If we tell everyone it wasn't, we're taking that away from her.
Eddie, the kids will have enough to deal with. Why make it worse on them?
Joe did nothing wrong. The people who died in those fires didn't do anything wrong, but Joe's dead, and they're dead. The kids need to know that life is a crapshoot, and some heartless bastard is throwing the dice.
That's the grief talking, Eddie. Joe did do something wrong. She committed suicide. Let's not make that out to be something noble. It'll just confuse the kids.
Nothing in life is noble. Joe was a strong woman, and she was broken. The kids need to know that can happen. When life throws enough shit at you, you can break.
Faith makes us strong. Faith is what's going to get your children through this. Joe forgot her faith.
The truth makes us strong, and that's what I'm going to tell the kids. But I need your word, Conrad. You have to have my back on this.
All right. You are still their father. You have my word. Thank God the place was fully insured. Aaron and I will raise Joe's children as if they were our own. It's the least I could do for my poor sister. If only she had listened to me. It will take some time, but Thebes will be restored. You know, God works in mysterious ways. It's not for us to question, but to endure. Joe should remember that.